Morning everyone, it is a beautiful morning, 2nd of June. Didn't make it up here yesterday because it was absolutely horrendous weather-wise. So yeah, just thought another day's not going to make a lot of difference. So anyway, I'm up the allotment. We're doing the start of the month roundup. So as you can see, there's a lot of greenery behind me, and the neighbours have also started to put some stuff up as well and stuff in. So if I turn the camera around and talk you through what's what. Well, I'll start at the door again because it worked quite well last time, I thought. So I've got my son's nasturtium containers. They're looking rather lovely with their nice variegated leaves. And I will show you these because look, first of the sweet peas starting to colour up. It hasn't quite gone over the arch as intended, but yeah, mainly because they got chewed the first lot by or first time around by the mice. So anyway, they're looking nice bit of colour. I'll start over here. The ground is a little bit rough now because the moles are digging up all the pathways. So we got the elephant garlic there. I mean, all of this is garlic and onions, so it all looks fairly similar. Obviously the red ones are always been very sporadic, but I mean, look how much weed has come back again. Gonna have to give it another weed. But to be honest, on both these beds, the covers do need to come off quickly, so I want to do one last weed. I will do one feed, and I'm going to do a liquid feed on these and a good water, and then that will probably be it as far as watering is concerned until we start thinking about lifting them, because certainly on like the onions you can see they're now starting to develop that nice bulb to them, and so I don't want to risk them rotting. And same with the garlic, you know, it'll be starting to develop now, so yeah, give them a good high feed and see what happens. So that's those. I'll show you these. So these are the potatoes. Got the main crop, blue salad, but look at the flowers, just amazing. Such a lovely blue. And then in the little contrast, we've then got Twinners, which is the second early variety. So you can see they've done actually really well, look nice and clean. All right, it looks like we've had one probably rot off there, same with there, and I reckon there's, well, maybe not one there, it might have been a shortage, but certainly I'd had one rot there. So it has been wet, and yes, I have had a couple of losses on that side of things, but we shall see once I dig them out as to how they've actually done. But I'm pretty confident on those. Spinach is growing like crazy. We've had multiple pickings from that. You can see they're producing the head. So what I've been doing on these, certainly some of these other ones, is as soon as they start kind of bolting a little bit, take the tops out, and that sort of encourages a bit of side shooting like it does with normal plants actually, and then that'll keep those going for a bit. But for me, you know, the spinach has a relatively short cropping time, and then really what I'm waiting for is my perpetual spinach to be big enough to then plant out, because it'll be the perpetual spinach that will see us through the autumn into the winter. The chard, again, doing quite nicely. That one there trying to go and bolt into seed, so that needs chopping as well. And again, I've got more chard coming on. I had these covers off for about a fortnight just to let some insects and whatnot get in and pollinate some of these broad bean seeds, because they are big, and you can see the broad beans are now starting to slowly develop, but I will take this cover off once more, I think, but not before I'll do something about these. So it was pretty much as soon as I took the covers off, the pigeons and some caterpillar managed to find these bad boys, which is the broccoli. So they've done a little bit of stripping there, and the radish as well. Need to start picking some of that. We had some of those the other day. First time ever that I've managed to grow non-woody radish, which made a nice change. And then in this bed again, it just wants another weed, but we got the cabbage Durham Early looking really good, the Calabrese and the Cavolo Nero looking good. So these big leaves here, they're actually the parsnip, so they're doing really well, and it's hard to distinguish from the weeds, but this feathery leaf is the carrot, and these sort of thicker tufts of grass looking, well, they're actually the leeks, so they're starting to look good, but they are in places amongst the grass, or the grass is amongst those, so I do need to be I need to weed those as opposed to letting my wife do them, which she won't know the difference. One of my later beds that I completed, so I've got just a little bit of nasturtium around the outside, blackcurrants, so that's the new one that was planted. That one got given. My gooseberry cuttings have gone in. So then here I've got the mixture of courgette. One at the end's been, well, got destroyed pretty much by slugs, snails, hoping it will make a recovery. But there's flower coming on these again, which is nice. Shooting star courgette, and then that's the marrow, which is actually a marrow starting to form there, which is really nice. And planted within those is the corn. And here we've got the runner bean, so that's the Guinness. 3 plants worth of Big Macs, pumpkins, so that one's just starting to form one, but in reality I probably need to take that off. Some corn, and then those ones there, which is the Dills Atlantic. Finally managed to get this area tidied. That's the mulberry type bush, and then I've got this section here. So we've got a couple of winter squash in here, and then the summer squash. So summer squash are at the far end. Then I've got my yukikuri winter squash in the middle, and butternut squash at the end. White lady beans across the back there, and then purely because I've got no space at home and I've kind of run out of space up here as well, I've then interplanted with some chrysanthemum, which I've still got these all to plant out still. So my original intention, if you remember, was to create this as my cut flower bed. Well, the reality is it's turned into a dahlia bed, so they're all starting to look pretty good. I've managed to get in the last of the cuttings now, so they've just sort of gone in as and when to make my numbers up a little bit. So they're all starting to come good, so I'm really pleased with those. And then I've got some little tufts starting to appear, front and back. And what it was, they were going to be some chuck outs from work, so they were actually, or they are, shallots. So just thought, you know, it's a bit of wasted space front and back of the border. I'll try planting those, and actually I don't know whether there might be some benefit to be had from the fact that hopefully the smell of the onion will keep the aphid away. And I don't know that I want to curse it, but oh, actually no, there is a bit of aphid in there, but the others seem pretty clean, so we shall see what happens as we progress. Got just a few bits of first colour starting to appear on the calendula, and it'd be nice if some of these other bits start taking hold, but you know, that's actually quite a nice roundup, and I've got to say I'm pretty pleased with how the plot's looking for my first year. Well, sorry, I had finished filming and then realised that I hadn't shown you the last bed. But yeah, this one, so this the all year round lettuce, which we picked some of that during the week. Very nice, much nicer than the supermarket one. Got a bit of a spicy taste to it, which is actually really nice. I've never noticed that before, but I've got my celery planted out up to here, and again I put in some more shallots which were chuck outs from work, so they've gone in the spacing, so let's see whether they do anything. The first little batch of beetroot has gone in because they were getting eaten in the cells, and I've actually planted them next to the seed sown beetroot, which you can just make out is starting to pop up. So hopefully that block there will be the beetroot, and that'll be fine. What have we got there? Oh, so it's the spring onion, doing quite nicely. Then in here is the Brussels sprout. So in my other update, the garden update, I have sown some more Brussels sprout. Well, I've sown a few bits and pieces, to be honest, that will be replacements for where they've been eaten, but you can certainly see that I've lost about 5 from over here to the slugs. And to be honest, I have tried across the whole site to not use any pesticides, but I'm thinking I might have to just on these beds, because they are netted. I think I'm going to have to put some friendly slug pellets down, obviously using the correct spacing, but just to try and control the numbers, because obviously confined in here, nothing's getting in and equally nothing's getting out, so the slugs just seem to be eating and getting fatter and fatter. But anyway, slightly digressing, I need to get these planted, the infills planted, and get a few slug pellets down. And then these other grassy bits, well, that's some more leek, so yeah, they're doing really nicely. And then I just thought I'd show you the front here. So I have got a few sweet peas that have come in the front. Got some more manure to finish using. Where I've got mounds of soil, I've managed to clear the perimeter side, and that's coming down the front here, which I'm just using to sort of grade out the front, make it a little bit tidier and easier to get in and out. But actually, what I'm thinking of doing is across the front here is put some wildflower seed in. So I thought that would just really, make it look quite attractive and do my bit for nature, obviously. Not that it's not nature, but I mean, this is the field around it, so it's quite natural and flowery and plenty of places to hide. But whilst we're here, we'll have a quick stroll over. Here the hose got a slight leak to it, so the grapevine over here is doing its thing. The rhubarb is well, really that's at the end of picking now, so that can't be used anymore. I mean, generally speaking, as you get into close to July, you don't want to do any more picking, but it had been very dry, and then followed by about the last week of rain, and that's just sort of caused this rhubarb to go over, I would say. And the rest of these trees, they're all mixtures of apples, plums, a couple of cherries and medlars and things like that. But having pruned the apples in the autumn time, or apples and pears in the autumn winter time, there is quite a lot of fruit starting to appear, so that would be really nice actually. Try and get this orchard area back to how it was. But anyway, just thought you'd appreciate that. So that's the roundup for 2nd of June. Hope you're liking it. I mean, as I say, I'm really pleased with how the plot's progressed. Yeah, I can't really complain, other than the fact that I probably need some more space. But it has been a lot of work. So anyway, hope you liked the video. If you've got any questions, please send them to me. Do my best to answer them for you. If you like what I'm doing, then please subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit that reminder button so you don't miss out on the future videos I'm doing. And in the meantime, certainly whilst the weather's like this, get out, have some fun, enjoy yourself, and well, there you go. But for me, I've got to go to work, unfortunately. So see you soon. Bye for now.